Hello, students. This is an introduction to life science. Science can often be a very scary subject to approach. A lot of us get intimidated when we think of science because we think of it as an amount of endless facts that we need to memorize. We think of answering questions that require expert knowledge, or sometimes we think that it requires us to find solutions that have us working with never-ending equations. I know personally when I think of science, I immediately think of the equation E equals mc squared, an equation that I really don't know how to apply to my personal life, but it's what I associate with science. When in reality, science isn't all those things. Science can be much simpler than that. Science is in our everyday life because science is everywhere. And anyone and everyone can be a scientist. All it takes is to look at the world around you, be curious, ask questions. You might see a bird in its nest and you might ask, why do birds lay eggs? Or you may be looking outside your windows and happen to look at the trees and the leaves and ask, why are leaves green? You might look at the sky and even ask, why is the sky blue? All these questions, all these things that stem from observation and curiosity, all these things make you a scientific thinker. All these things that are in your everyday life are science. Science is literally everywhere. And science is beautiful and it's important because essentially we are science. As human beings, we're part of the scientific world because the way our bodies function, like what we consume and what we are made out of, even our role on this planet is scientific. The way that we as human beings affect other living organisms, other non-living organisms, everything is scientific. Specifically, life science is the study of living organisms, which is what we're going to be dealing with more. So what are living organisms? What constitutes as a living organism? If you take a look at these three pictures, two of these things are living organisms. So we have the clownfish, we have water, and we have a sea urchin. Well, if you classify the clownfish and the sea urchin as living organisms, you are correct. And on the third tab in this lesson, you're going to be introduced to a more in-depth explanation of what constitutes as a living organism and the characteristics that they must have to be considered a living organism. So stay tuned for that. And here are other examples of living organisms. So life science, as I said before, is a study of these living organisms. And oftentimes when we think of living organisms, we think of animals, like this cute little puppy, like this beautiful giraffe, or, even people, things that move and reproduce and we see walking around. We think that that is what constitutes a living thing, when in fact, living organisms can be strawberries, fruits, vegetables, plants, they're living organism, flowers, they're living organism, coral reefs, butterflies, insects, earthworms, all those things are living organisms as well. So like I said before, make sure to click on the following tab to learn exactly what makes a living organism and how you can differentiate it from something that is non-living.